The Cold War between the United States and the USSR seeped into Africa. Castro's revolutionary ideas inspired Africa's liberators too. VOA's Paul Sisco has more.
In the 1950s, Fidel Castro's revolution and support for African liberation on the continent inspired its freedom fighters and many of its eventual leaders. Like David and Goliath, Castro's island nation would not back down to the United States, the world power to its north. And he supported, with words, troops, and resources, Africa's independence and determination to break the grip of its oppressive, colonizing powers. South Africa's Jacob Zuma, Equatorial Guinea's Teodoro Obiang, and Zimbabwe's Robert Mugabe were among the first to announce their attendance at Castro's funeral.
Fidel was not just your leader. He was our leader and the leader of all revolutionaries.
Fidel Castro means a lot.
Para nosotros el presidente Fidel Castro significa muchísimo.
To our struggle and to our freedom as well.
Castro is still celebrated in Africa for very good reason. In the 1960s, Castro and Che Guevara, allied with Fidel since the Cuban Revolution, supported Angola's MPLA, the People's Movement for the Liberation of Angola, in its anti-colonial struggle against Portugal. By the mid-70s, the freedom fight in Angola pitted their forces against those of apartheid-led South Africa and, covertly, the United States, intent on stopping what it saw as the rise of Soviet influence and global communism in Angola and in southern Africa. The Goliath America continued to support South Africa's apartheid regimes into the mid-80s, while Castro's support for African independence, often against U.S.-backed regimes, fueled relations between the United States and Castro throughout the Cold War. In eastern Africa, Castro intervened militarily in the 1970s on behalf of the Ethiopian dictator, Lieutenant Colonel Mengistu Haile Mariam. He participated in a successful coup against the U.S.-backed Haile Selassie in 1974. Castro's African influence continues. Within days of the 2014 Ebola outbreak, Cuba sent the largest contingent of doctors to West Africa. Thousands of South Sudanese and medical personnel from across the continent have been educated and trained in Cuba. Soon after Nelson Mandela's release from prison, Mandela went to Havana, thanking Castro for his support in the anti-apartheid movement. At Mandela's subsequent inaugural, as South Africa's first black president, Castro, in attendance, called him a source of inspiration to all freedom-loving people. And it was at Mandela's memorial on December 5, 2013, that President Obama shook Raul Castro's hand, bringing on the long overdue thawing of U.S.-Cuban diplomatic relations underway today. Paul Sisco, VOA News, Washington.